Hi, I'm Dr. Lance Robbins with Chirolytes, and I'm here with Tara. She's helping me, and we're going over some exercises for lumbar stability and pelvic alignment. This last one is the third one in a three-part series here on how to stabilize the core, prevent injury, especially in the lumbar spine. And it's a pretty popular exercise. You see it a lot, and it's got several names. I'm going to call it the bird dog. I get that from one of my mentors, Ivo Werlock with the Gate Guys. And it's got other names. I think quadruped would be another name that you might have heard it called by. It's basically one of the best ones for creating some really good support across the low back and teaching you to utilize unilateral structures of the body together on opposites. So it's kind of like a cross pattern retrain. So I'm going to have Tara go on all fours for me. Just like every exercise we do, you always want to start from the right alignment. So in order to get into the right alignment when you're on all fours, I tell everyone to picture yourself as a box, and there's this perfectly square box underneath you. So you want the arms to be the sides of one box, and the legs or thighs to be the sides. And here where the thigh meets the hips and the pelvis, there should be like a 90-degree angle going into the low back here. And again, at the arm where it meets the shoulder, you again want a 90-degree angle. The back here, you want it to be nice and flat. And the belly button is going to be actually pulled in away from the table, and you're still keeping a flat back. You can sort of monitor yourself. You can put a ball on your low back or a bowl of water, and if it spills or falls off, then you know you've lost that alignment. Shoulders are going to be out of the ears. You want the elbows, the creases of the elbows to kind of face each other, and the hands should be directly underneath the shoulders. If you're doing it on a table like this, you can feel free to wrap your fingers around the edge of the table if it feels more comfortable to you. Your knees are going to be open hips width apart, and your feet are also going to be open hips width apart. So if you were to look between your knees, you should not be able to see your feet, because all of this is in a nice straight alignment. And when we do this here, you also want to maintain a nice flat back when we do the movement. You don't want to bend left or right. The neck is going to be nice and neutral so that the head is also kind of lined up with the back of the spine here, and everything stays nice and straight. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be challenging this perfectly square box structure by changing things, and you just don't want to collapse your box. So throughout the exercise, you're thinking, I want my box to be totally straight, totally stable, and I want my body to hold that alignment. So steps here, it's all about increasing the lever arm and then adding movement. So very, very basically, you can start by just lifting one appendage at a time. So if we start with just the right arm and bring it forward 1 inch off the table, you don't have to lift it high, you can just lift it barely off the table. That would be like a very basic level here. Go ahead and bring that one back down, set it down. Each time you reset, you want to make sure your box is nice and straight. Next one would be you could take this right leg back, make it straight and about 1 inch off the table. And again, as you do that, your body wants to shift all its weight over onto the other side, because it's like, wow, all that stability just went away on that side. You want to try and stay in the center of those two planes and maintain some stability against all the torsion that was just created. So those would be the basics. Come on down, reset your box nice and straight, back is flat. Moving into the second part here, where it's a little bit harder, you're going to take 2 limbs off at a time. And now we're going to do opposites, because we're working on kind of a cross pattern here. What I'm going to have her do is we're going to take this left arm, we're going to reach it forward 1 inch off the table, and we're going to take the right leg back 1 inch off the table. And now we've really started to challenge that box square structure underneath, because right now she's only supported on 2 limbs across her body. So as she's being supported here, you want to imagine there's a line of tension that's kind of pulling and stabilizing you, coming from the hand that's on the ground and the knee that's on the ground, and they're pulling across the low back in a cross pattern style there. This is a good place to hold for 30 to 60 seconds. And you're going to switch and do that on the other side. Take a break for just a second, come down, reset your box. So that would be like level 2. Now, from there, increasing level-wise, as far as like level 3, you're making things harder. All you're going to do is start to either add movements or change direction, and then eventually you're actually going to add some spinal movement to see a lot of changes. So we're just going to go through those real quickly here. Go ahead and take that same arm, right arm forward, or left arm forward, right leg back. Hold there, you're going to have that neutral alignment occurring in the midsection. Now, a real simple one to throw out there is to just take these out away from the midline and then back to the center. Breathing as you do so, inhale, exhale. And you can do a set of 10 and then switch and do the other side. Also, what you can do is circles. So you're going to come out, up, in, and down, out, up, in, and down. That would be another way to do it. Freeze. And then you can also lift both up and then touch your knee to your elbow underneath and round the back. Come back to a neutral position, lift up, and then touch them together in the center. Good, come down. So you can do a set of 10 just like that as well, again on either side, and that's going to increase how much challenge is occurring to the stabilizing muscles here in the low back. Thank you, Terry.